Syria was the generic of the region between Anatolian Peninsula, Turkey and the Sinai. Since ancient times it was the object of possession for many countries and considered for the Egyptians as the gateway to their country and the Persians they saw on the bridge to the universal empire they projected.
On the shores of Syria, between the 12th and 16th century, the Canaanite civilization, known by the Greeks as the Phoenicians, a society of sailors of merchants who created the first mercantile economy of the planet. The Phoenician cities were always independent, although one or the other temporarily exercised some hegemony over the others.
In 1920, France military occupied the country, forcing Faisal to withdraw. 2 months later, Syria was divided into 5 states: Greater Lebanon, Damascus, Aleppo, Jabal Versailles Alawite. The four returned to join in 1924. Faisal was king of Syria when the Arab revolt broke out during the First World War.
Until 1932, the country lived in relative tranquility. In that year, the president and the parliament were elected.
France made clear his intention not to allow a great internal autonomy. This generated clashes that in 1936 stopped with an agreement where the French recognized justice of claim.
In 1948, forces against the partition of Palestine, and in 1956 they were united with Egypt, attacked by Israel, France and Great Britain, when nationalizing Nasser the Channel of Suez.
Syria actively participated in the Arabic-Israeli Wars of 1976 and 1973, during which the Israeli forces occupied the Golden Plateau. Together with Algeria, Yemen and the PLO, he integrated the Film Fund which opposed USC policy in the region and the Camp David Agreement.
In 1978, as a result of a rapprochement by the Syrian and Iraqi Ba'ath faction, progress was made towards the creation of a single state, but the project failed to unify the two branches of the party.
In May 1981, Syria and Lebanon signed a cooperation agreement under which Syria recognized Lebanon as an independent and separate state, for the first time since the two countries gained independence from France.
The 2nd of December of 1991, al-Assad was re-elected for the fourth time with the 99.98% of the votes. His candidacy was the only 1%.
Al-Assad was re-elected for his 7th consecutive term of 5 years in 1999. In March 2000, all cabinet members resigned and Mohammed Mustafa Miro, a veteran Ba'ath leader, was appointed as the new prime minister. In May, senior U.S. official John Bolton included Syria on the list of countries that are part of the so-called Axis of Evil, accusing Damascus of attempting to obtain weapons of mass destruction.
On March 8, the Committee for the Defense of Democratic Liberties and Human Rights of Syria organized an in-person demonstration in Damascus in search of democracy and freedom for political prisoners. 2 members of the organization, Aham Kasser and Hassan Wafta, were arrested and spent 2 months in prison.
In early February 2006, Syrian protesters burned down the building of the embassies of Denmark and Norway during a protest over the publication in a Danish newspaper of cartoons satirizing the Prophet Muhammad.
In May 2007, Bashar al-Assad was re-elected to the presidency for 7 more years. Having been the only candidate, he obtained 97.62% of the votes. Syria is the number of the economy 98 per volume of GDP. Its public debt in 2009 was 12,088 million euros, with a debt of 31.21% of GDP. Its debt per capita is 573 euros per inhabitant.
GDP per capita is a very good indicator of the standard of living, and in the case of Syria in 2013 was 1,317, so that is with this figure is the bottom of the table. In the 149, its inhabitants have a very low level of life in relation to 196 countries of the ranking of GDP per capita.
As for the Human Development Index, which the United Nations prepares to measure the progress of a country and which ultimately shows the standard of living of its inhabitants, indicates that the Syrians have a poor quality of life. Syria produces little, bad, and prohibited prices, and the goods do not circulate by the internal borders between the groups that control the country, nor can it import, since it does not export and its foreign exchange coffers are empty. The economic situation is disastrous.
The two main industries, energy and tourism, collapsed in this lustrum of conflict. The war altered the role of the state and its power of collection. Reliable data on plots such as inflation has contributed to the proliferation of the black market. The Syrian conflict has pushed the country economy back to the level it had 3 decades ago with the structure of most of its infrastructure. Putting figures of the catastrophe, 5 years later, 83% of the country's electricity grid has been destroyed.
Before the war, Syria had a diversified economy where agriculture accounted for more than 20% and oil extraction by 25%. 3 years after the conflict erupted, Arab power held only 5% of its output. The Islamic religion is predominant. Muslims obey mainly Sunni Orthodoxy, although they are also Alawites, Shiites, Druze, and Islamists. Christianity it is in different confessions: Orthodox, Syriac, Maronite, Catholics, etc. It's confined peripheral provinces and some urban districts.
Unlike other nations in the Middle East, freedom of worship is respected in Syria, so there is no confrontation and partiality between Christians and Muslims. Even women can walk freely in the streets, lacking any kind of Islamic veil. Religion in Syria consists of a wide range of religions and sects. However, membership in a religious community in Syria is usually determined by birth. According to an investigation by Michael Isety, 68.4% of Syrians are Sunni Muslims, 11.3% are Alawites, and 11.2% are Christians. Another 9.1% belong to other religions. Maxim, a company that is dedicated to the production of weapons. Sheraton, a hotel business. Chevron, ExxonMobil, Saudi, Shell, Total, and British Petroleum. These enterprises are dedicated to the production of oil. Cultural imperialism is the theory that details the country that has the highest purchasing power and produces more. It is how we will have the power to impose this view of the world.